in tonight's women's volleyball match between the Lady Norse of Northern Kentucky and the Volleyball of IPFW. And we're going to send you right down to the floor for tonight's starting lineups.
Now let's meet tonight's starting lineup. First for Northern Kentucky University. A 5'4" sophomore from Edgewood, Kentucky, number 1, Michelle Klink. A 5'9" sophomore from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 6, Peggy Ziegler. A 5'10" sophomore from Erlanger, Kentucky, number 10, Sean Casey. A 5'9" freshman from Florence, Kentucky, number 14, Ann Hicks. A 5'11" sophomore from Louisville, Kentucky, number 17, Suzanne Williams. And the captain for the Lady Norse, a 5'8" senior from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 4, Linda Snetzer. The head coach for NKU is Mary Bierman. And now the starting lineup for IPFW. A 5'8" junior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 2, Julie Huber. A 6' senior from Albuquerque, New Mexico, number 4, Wendy Vanderwilt. A 5'6" sophomore from Noblesville, Indiana, number 11, Jill Lyon. A 5'9" junior from Columbia City, Indiana, number 12, Temple Swoverland. A 6' senior from Hemlock, Michigan, number 15, Kristen Gorsland. And the captain of the Volleyball, a 6' senior from Arcadia, Indiana, number 13, Jana Plummer. The head coach for IPFW is Lisa Sheehan. The officials for tonight's GLVC match are Keith Neergarter and Bob Michael. Like to let everyone know that at the conclusion of tonight's match, we will be having the U.S. Air Summit City Travel Fly-In Contest. Chance to win those 2 tickets to Tampa, Florida to be with the Volleyball.
Okay, well this should be a good match this evening against IPFW and Northern Kentucky. What do you have to say about it, Loy?
Well, I got a chance to talk to a lot of the girls this week. You know, they had a real disappointing last weekend, not winning their own tournament and getting knocked out by Grand Valley. But they came out with a new attitude. They said there's not much we can do about it now. We have to forget last weekend. We know we didn't play well at home at our first time out. So let's try our second time out, come out and play more aggressive. The passing has got a lot better. I talked to Jill Lyons, a sophomore setter from Noblesville. She said the passing is wonderful right now. Offense is working well. And we'll just have to see how it goes, Christy.
I think it should be all right. I talked to Lisa right before the game, and she said that this is a young team that they're playing, but it should be a really good game. Number 1 for Lady Norse, Michelle Klink serving the ball.
And an ace right off the back. Right there, I think I must have put a curse on the team. First bad pass of the game, but could be a little pregame jitters. Not a bad crowd here tonight, so we'll have to see if they can work out of it and get right back into some rhythm.
1-0, Northern Kentucky. Klink still serving the ball.
Right there, the Temple of Doom, as she's called, Temple Swarthen with the first kill of the game. Last weekend, Temple had a singles game record of 30 kills in one match, so hopefully good things from Temple here tonight.
That's right, Temple Swoverland back to serve.
And an ace that time by Temple, coming right back and showing a little of their own medicine back to the North.
She was very dominant last week. That was the one person we could say that was very consistent in her game playing, and obviously that shows with the 30 kills that she had just in the one game alone against Grand Valley. Swoverland to serve, another nice serve over to number 6, Peggy Ziegler.
Nice defensive play by Julie Huber on the tip, free ball. And that time, the official calls a double hit. Double hit when the ball is contacted by one hand, then the other, and that's called on the setter, number 10, Sean Casey for Northern Kentucky.
And we'll take that. IPFW serving 2-1. And there's an ace service by Temple Swoverland. That's 2 out of her first 4 serves. First 3 serves. I take that back. That's not too bad.
Definitely serving aggressive right now is Temple.
Oh, that was a nice cross-court hit by Peggy Ziegler of the Lady Norse. Their setter for Kentucky is number 10, Sean Casey. She is the tallest setter in the conference, and they have a very young team. It'll be very interesting to see how they play against IPFW this evening.
Nice dig that time by Northern Kentucky. And the ball comes right back over. Ball didn't cross the net that time for number 6, Peggy Ziegler.
So
back to serve for Lady Dons, number 15, senior co-captain, Kristen Gorsline.
Thank you, that was really hard. Nice tip by number 4, Linda Snetzer of the Lady Norse. We couldn't just get to that ball in time.
Good effort by the Lady Dons. Everyone going for the ball. A good show of aggression here early in the match. Hopefully that'll keep on throughout and can deal with some of those tips. I have a feeling Northern Kentucky is going to tip a lot, Chrissy, being an inexperienced team.
Right, early substitution. Becky Cox came in for the Lady Norse.
And there we see a 31 to Jana Plummer from Jill Lyons going awry. It's good to see Jill go in the middle early, though, quick. I think we can definitely utilize the middle against a smaller team.
Right, we had a lot of outside hitting last week, and it didn't work, and it'll be nice to see what happens here in the middle. Right now, we've just tied it up. Lady Norse is 3-3. Number 5, Becky Cox, still serving, and obviously that was a good substitution for the Lady Norse.
Outside to Huber. Good dig by Northern Kentucky. And a kill that time on the weak side by number 4, Wendy Vanderwilt.
It was nice to see that happen because I tell you, I'm not sure if Jill knew what she was ready to do there. It looked like she wanted to put it over, decided to just put it up, and
I think we definitely need to keep it on our side. We got some big girls, some big attackers, strong attackers, and if we keep it on our side, but we definitely don't need to do that. Right there, a serving error by Wendy.
We have another substitution. I tell you, the Lady Norse are turning them over. Tamara Raymer is in for the Lady Norse.
Michelle Klink checks out. There we see a nice play right there. Kind of a quick pass by Julie Huber. Great set that time by setter Jill Lyons on a quick one ball. Number 11, senior co-captain, number 13, rather, that is Jana Plummer. Jana up nice and early for that one. Julie Huber, number 2, is back to serve for Lady Dons.
It's a nice serve there by Julie, and it looks like it's going to be a free ball for IPFW.
Should be a transition side out.
There's
the tip
one of the
doesn't go that time.
Famous tips by Jill. She takes it on her own. It's just like it worked out for him. We're seeing some communication on the floor tonight, which is a good thing. We didn't see very much of that last weekend, and that may have been part of our problem. Julie Huber still serving 4-3 IPFW, and that was wide.
There we see right there, Lady Dons have had some serving problems in the last couple matches. Definitely need to concentrate more on their serving. Number 4, Linda Schnetzer back to serve, and she serves in the net.
So once again, we're going to do some trade-off here on some service errors, and that we can call that to a young team on the Kentucky North side, but I don't know what we're going to say about us. We've got to get them corrected. That was served by Jana Plummer.
And a lift that time called on number 10, Sean Casey from Northern Kentucky. Tried to set the ball in the middle of the court. It looks like she just bobbed a little bit, so official Keith Neergarter called her on a lift.
Plummer serving 5-3 IPFW. And that's a long serve. We saw a few of those also last week. We think IPFW didn't have any games earlier this week. They've had a full week of practice, hoping that they could get some of this taken care of, and I think we'll see it. This is really early in the first game. Suzanne Williams just came back in for the Lady Norse, and once again, number 10, Sean Casey, another service error.
I think both teams trying to hurry their serve. You have 5 seconds until it's called delay a game, so take a big breath and just serve the ball over the net. I think both teams trying to hurry up for some reason.
That was Jill Lyons serving for IPFW, and that was a little long by Suzanne Williams from the Kentucky Norse.
There we saw a good block up by IPFW. Both number 12, Temple Swover, and number 15, Kristen Gorsline, getting their hands up for the block.
Huber still serving and just tipped the top of the net that time. Side out, Kentucky. And number 16, Tamara Raymer, will be back to serve. 3-6, IPFW lead. To the outside, Temple Swoverland.
The roll, Jill Lyons is there. Nice set outside by Temple to Wendy. Nice dig that time by number 4, Lindy Schnetzer.
Oh, and I don't know. I guess they're going to call it a touch there on Julie Huber, but the ball would have been long, I believe, had she not caught a little bit of her hand on that.
Julie couldn't quite get out of the way in time.
Right. Number 16, Tamara Raymer, back to serve. Oh, Kristen Gorsline couldn't quite get her hand on that one.
Set a little high that time from Jill Lyons. Kind of a tight pass, so Jill tried to time it right, but Kristen was a little early and the set was a little high, so didn't quite hook up on that one.
Tamara Raymer serving for Northern Kentucky. The score is 6-5.
Nice serve that time by Tamara. Ace right down the line with a lot of heat. Julie Huber couldn't quite get there.
And that ties it up for Northern Kentucky, and that's 6-6. Oh, there's a service error, though. That's good at a tie-up break. Number 12, Temple Swoverland, back to serve for IPFW. Another substitution, number 1, Michelle Klink, coming in for number 16, Tamara Raymer on Kentucky side. They're doing a real nice job at mixing them up.
There's Temple back to serve for Lady Dons. The tip, nice up by Jill Lyons. And back row attack called. The players in the back row, they cannot come in front of the 10-foot line, the white line, almost in the middle of the court, and attack the ball over the net. That time, number 10, Sean Casey from Northern Kentucky did, and the officials caught it.
7-6, IPFW serving, Temple Swoverland. This time going for the inside tip.
Free ball sent over.
Chance for a point, chance for a side out, and they are going to get it, side out, Northern Kentucky.
Nice shot that time by Peggy Ziegler, getting the ball through the block and going down the Lady Don side.
Number 14, Ann Hicks serving. Lady Norse are playing really well right now. IPFW just needs to get their game together.
That time a nice play, just Wendy mishit the ball, sent it a little deep that time. Definitely a good idea by Joe Lyon trying to get the middle going. Good passing also so far for Lady Dons.
Tied up game, 7-7. Hicks still serving. It's another nice hard hit, and that's an ace service. Temple tried to get to it, couldn't get there in time, and that's another point.
Definitely a nice serve by Hicks that time. That ball crossed the net and just dropped right in front of Temple. A lot of heat on that serve.
NKU takes a lead. They are serving 8-7.
And serve goes awry that time by Hicks.
IPFW with the substitution. Number 3, Denise Scheiman coming in for 15, Kristen Gorsline. We saw a lot of that. Denise comes in and does a lot of our serving for us.
Denise, a very good defensive player. Let's see if she can get a dig here. Get the Lady Dons a point. And a use that time by number 4, Linda Schnetzer for Northern Kentucky. Has a nice little tool shot off the Lady Dons block. Good block that time, just not quite getting her hands over the net far enough to put the ball back down on their side.
Right, hands were up, but it managed to get through, and we don't need that. Number 5, Becky Cox serving. Got to have some good blocks tonight. Once again, another long hit.
Tell you what, looks like the set's there from Joe Lyons. Just mishit that time again by number 4, Wendy Vanderwilt.
Lady North serving 9-7. This time she's going outside to Huber with that nice cross-court kill.
That time looked like Huber went over number 4, Linda Schnetzer from Northern Kentucky. Huber playing very well this week in practice. Good passing. Her shoulder getting a little better. She's trying to save it for the games this weekend. So and that showed right there with a little heat on that. But that's definitely not enough heat on that serve.
Was side out, IPFW. Another substitution for the Lady Norse. Number 1, Michelle Klink coming out. Number 16, Tamara Raymer coming back in. I think that puts a little bit more height back on their line, and that it does. Number 6, Peggy Ziegler served that for IPFW.
That time we got a net call on number 11, sophomore setter Jill Lyon. Pass was on top of the net. Jill was not able to set. She tried to just force the ball over, but was called for being in the net.
And IPFW is now trailing by 3. Number 6, Ziegler still serving. It is 7-10, and there was a nice tip by Lyon.
That's a tip she tried before, and they weren't there, but the person that's supposed to play defense on that left side was serving, so she was late getting there, and Jill, being a good setter, noticing that, tipped her right where they weren't.
Julie Huber back to serve for IPFW. The Dons trail by 3, 7-10.
Nice serve that time by Huber. The roll shot falls in the middle of the court.
By number 4, Linda Snetzer, and that's a nice shot. They're doing that a lot, and we've got to watch that when we're back, that they are using that anytime that they can. Temple Swoverland.
Nice defense by Northern Kentucky. Send a free ball over. Should be a side out here.
Going to go to Temple again, and she comes cross court. This time there was a nice dig by Becky Cox.
And that time Temple with the big block on number 10, Sean Casey. Seeing Casey's big setter, she's going to try to tip it over herself, but Temple there with the strong hands forcing it back down. There we see number 15, Kristen Gorsline, checking back into the lineup for some blocking. Kristen, a very big and strong girl. She's a good blocker. Let's see if she can get her hands over and give us a couple blocks.
Jana Plover serving for IPFW.
There we see Kristen there taking a force at the net.
There was Temple trying to make a decisive decide what she wanted to do up there. Basically put the ball down, and they blocked her.
Nice dig that time, number 4, Wendy Vanderwilt outside the Temple. She tips it down, good on the line. Nice smart play that time by junior number 12, Temple Swoverland.
They were getting a little bit of enthusiasm in the faces. We haven't seen that yet tonight. It's taken them a while to warm up, and that got the crowd behind them. And I think if they can get the crowd to help them out, it will be a nice asset tonight. They're going to go over to number 16, Tamara Raymer.
Oh, nice dig that time by Jana Plummer. We're going to have to give him a free ball so we can get a block here on transition. The tip doesn't go.
IPFW, Temple Swoverland, cross
once again,
court.
Number 12, Temple Swoverland. Nice set by Jill Lyon. Smart set, knowing that Temple was one-on-one. One hitter on one blocker, and it puts it down for the kill.
Looks like we have a timeout from the Lady Norse, and the IPFW Volleyball only trail by 1 point now. It's 10-9, and we're still serving.
It's in game number 1, best 3 out of 5 game match.
And we'll be right back after these brief messages.
His lifelong contributions to Indiana athletics are incomparable. Now you're invited to toast Hoosier sports legend Hilliard Gates Wednesday, September 25th at the Coliseum. Special banquet guests include ABC's Chris Schenkel, Purdue's Gene Cady, Notre Dame's Dick Rosenthal, and a special video tribute from IU coach Bob Knight. For reservations, call the IPFW Development Office at 481-6162. Proceeds benefit the IPFW Athletic Scholarship Campaign. If Hilliard has touched your life, let him know it. September 25th at the Coliseum.
Welcome back to tonight's GLVC match between Northern Kentucky University and the Dons from IPFW. Still serving is number 13, Jana Plummer, and the IPFW Volley Dons only trail by 1 right now, and I think that was the cause of the timeout, to see if she could shake Jana Plummer up. She saw some enthusiasm on our side, and I think she wanted to see if she could stop that. Once again, there's that tip, and then obviously that timeout worked. It's exactly what she wanted. Tamara Raymer just tipped that one over the top, and we weren't able to get to it.
I definitely think we're seeing signs of an inexperienced team. If the set's not perfect, they're going to tip the ball. IPFW needs to be aware of that.
Number 10, Sean Casey serving. 10-9. The Norse are still leading. There was a nice play by IPFW. There's a nice dig by Vanderwilt.
And a nice roll that time by Temple Swoverland. She saw number 10, Sean Casey, the setter from Northern Kentucky, leaving the defensive spot on the right side a little early, so she rolled it right there, and no one was there to cover for the Lady Norse.
Back to serve for IPFW's number 11, setter Jill Lyon. IPFW trailing by 1.
Oh, nice try that time, number 2, Julie Huber on defense. We had it set up that time. Chrissy, number 4, and number 15 for IPFW, two of our best blockers that time to block the ball, just not quite in rhythm yet. Hopefully that'll change for the night's over.
Number 16, Tamara Raymer serving, and that was a net service error, so we'll take it. That doesn't give them a chance to put any more points on the board in this early game, and we have another substitution. Number 1, Michelle Klink coming back in for number 16, Tamara Raymer.
Temple Swoverland, number 12, back to serve for Lady Dons. Nice play that time by Jill Lyon. Nice play defensively that time by Lady Norse.
Should be a point for IPFW. See what they can do.
And the ball hit long that time by number 17, Suzanne Williams. Point, IPFW scored 10-10, game number 1.
No.
Number 12, Temple Swoverland, still serving for the Lady Dons.
And that's definitely a long serve. Everyone saw that coming. No hands even went up in the air on that one. That's a side out.
Once again, the problems for Lady Dons serving. From last weekend's tournament, the Lady Dons serving almost 3 service errors a game. And I think they already have over that this game, Christy.
I believe they do. That's 3 or 4. And there's another service error for the NKU, and I tell you, they're not doing any better on that tonight. Maybe it's cold in here tonight. Last weekend we got a complaint about how hot it was and that it was probably making the girls a little tired, and tonight it's really, really cold in this gym.
There's Denise. Denise just checked back in for the Lady Dons. Denise Scheinman serving, defensive special. There's a block that time.
That's the blocks that we need to see, and that'll really help us out. A free ball for IPFW.
On a cross, that time by Wendy. And we have a net call that time on number 4 for Northern Kentucky, Linda Schnetzer. So a big break for IPFW. Jill called a cross on that. One hitter comes in around the number and on the quick ball hitter, and it didn't work, but fortunately for us, it was a net violation. So Denise still serving. There's another block of the net. Jana Plummer. Free ball opportunity. Going to go back to Wendy Vanderwilt. Nice shot that time by number 6, Peggy Ziegler.
They've been going a lot to their outside hitter, and we haven't really been able to stop it so far tonight, but I saw a couple good blocks there in the last play.
Here we see it again. Ziegler with the cross-court shot for the kill. And a new person checked into the lineup, number 5, Becky Cox, defensive specialist. Tough server checks in. There's a nice serve right there. Oh, and it's finally down. The back one that time on number 4, Wendy Vanderwilt, set by number 11, Jill Lyon.
Girls trying to stay into this game here. They are still up by 1 point now, 11-10 IPFW. Vanderwilt back to serve for IPFW. Number 6, once again, they're going for the tip.
Nice play that time by Temple. Nice bump set to number 2, Julie Huber for the kill.
Puts that one down right through the block. And IPFW goes up 12-10. We're going to see that once again as that went right through the block. And IPFW is now leading by 2 points. Vanderbilt still serving. Going to go to the outside once again.
And the tip, we got that time. Free ball coming over. Nice defense by Lady Dons. And the block, oh, we were there that time. Just went down in front of Jill Lyons. Didn't quite get her hands over the net.
Side out for the Lady Norse. And we have a substitution, number 16, Tamara Raymer coming in for number 1, Michelle Klink. Number 6, Peggy Ziegler, serving for the Lady Norse. They trail this game 10-12. Going to the middle, number 13, Jana Plummer, and that's what we need to see. A lot more of that hitting from the inside.
Nice shot that time by number 13, Jana Plummer. Jill keeping the ball from net so Jana can drive it into the block, and it falls on Northern Kentucky's side.
Huber serving the ball for IPFW. And that's going to be under the net.
Another point for Lady Dons, 13-10.
There's another timeout here for the Lady Norse. And IPFW is leading this game by 3 points now, 13-10.
Tune in to Channel 6 tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. to watch the Lady Greyhounds from the University of Indianapolis take on the IPFW Lady Volleyball. That's right here on Channel 6.
There's some of our crowd watching on. I think the younger girls, there they are, they're going to wave. They act a little embarrassed at first, but I think that they don't mind the camera being on them too much.
Christy and I will be here to call that game for you tomorrow at 3 p.m., so please join us, and we'll have a good old time here on Channel 6.
We like to anyway. We like to think we can have a good time, and tonight we are right now because IPFW is leading this ball game 13-10, and it looks like they're starting to get their stuff together, and the Norse obviously seeing that. They call a second timeout, and they want to try to stop it one more time. We'll see if that is as effective as it was the first time. Huber's still serving for IPFW. Number 4, once again, it did work. Linda Schnetzer from the Lady Norse knocks that one down, and they get a side out. We definitely need a side out right now, stop them from scoring any points and get a chance to wind up this first game.
They go back row attack. Oh, a nice kill that time by number 4, Wendy Vanderbilt from the back row on what we call a D set. A D set or a back row attack. Jill Lyons sets the ball on that white line, the 10-foot line. The player must jump behind that line. She can land in front of it before she contacts the ball.
We had a substitution there. Number 15, Kristen Gore's line coming in. I put the height and the blocks back up on the front line, and we'll see how that helps us out.
Nice dig that time by Huber outside of Temple Swoverland.
Nice dig by number 4, Linda Schnetzer.
The roll shot, IPFW's there.
Temple Swoverland spotting the open court in the back, but they got to it. They couldn't get it quite up and over the net, so it's going to be a point IPFW. This is a chance for them to wrap up this game. They lead 14-10. Jana Plummer back to serve. And there you see it once again.
Nice serve by Plummer. Ball's going to be set outside. Dig by Plummer. Going to go D. Number 4.
Vanderbilt from the back row.
No, that was number 4, Wendy Vanderbilt with the kill right in the deep corner. Nice set by Jill Lyons. Wendy playing really well. Game number 1. IPFW Lady Dons win at 15-10.
That was a nice kill. That was 2 that we've seen from Vanderbilt from the back row, and she put it right in the corner.
IPFW playing pretty well right now. A surprising Northern Kentucky with the inexperience they have, playing quite well. I think IPFW is thrown off a little bit. Northern Kentucky not running a quick middle attack, more of a high ball, and they're running up and try to kill it from there. So I think our blocking has finally figured that out.
The next live sports event on Channel 6 will be telecast Friday evening, November 1st. Join us for exciting women's GLVC volleyball when the Lady Screaming Eagles from Southern Indiana take on the IPFW Lady Volleydons at 7:30 p.m. right here on Channel 6. And we'll be right back in just one moment.
Hello, I'm Jerry Hausman of the Political Science Department. The Departments of History and Political Science, the International Studies Certificate Program, the International Affairs Office, and Peace Studies want to invite you to attend an important campus event. We're going to have Michael Foot as a guest speaker. Michael Foot is the former Deputy Prime Minister of Britain. He also was the leader of Her Majesty's opposition in the early 1980s, meaning that he would have been the Prime Minister of Britain had the elections gone against Mrs. Thatcher and in his favor. Mr. Foot is also a well-known author, journalist, newspaper editor, speaker, and member of Parliament. I think his appearance will make for an interesting evening, and the appearance will be at 8 p.m. Tuesday, September 24th, in room 159 of the Classroom Medical Building.
Well, we're glad you could join us this evening for this good GLVC volleyball action between the Lady Norse of Northern Kentucky and IPFW Volleydons.
Lady Volleydons playing really well right now. and there we are. Hello, everyone. And the Lady Dons playing really well right now against an inexperienced Northern Kentucky team. So hopefully we can keep playing well, passing really well. Jill doing a great job dishing out those sets. And right now, Wendy Vanderbilt killing the ball very well from the back row, as well as our middle attacks playing really well. Right now, everything clicking for IPFW.
I believe so. If we continue to play that way, Loy, in this next game, we shouldn't have too many problems. We started out really slow in that game, but we started warming up, and I think that's the key tonight, warming up, and especially in this cold gym. It was so hot last weekend, and it's just unreal, the change in just a week's time.
I would have wore socks. I knew it was going to be this cold.
So we have the girls, and I think they are warmed up now. They finally look like they're jumping a little better. We're getting up for the blocks on the front line, and we're also jumping from the backcourt and getting some nice kills from the backcourt.
Let you know how cold it is. Some of the Lady Dons putting on their warm-ups just in between games, trying to keep the blood flowing and not freezing up inside.
And there's some cute little kids there watching this game, and we're glad to see anyone and everyone that feels like they can come out and watch the game here at IPFW. We appreciate if you can't and that you tune in with Loy and myself. And looks like we're getting ready to start game 2. IPFW will be serving, and sophomore setter Jill Lyons will be back to serve. We'll see what happens here in the second game. IPFW won the first game, if you just tuned in, 15-10. And hopefully we're as triumphant in the second one as we were in the first. And we're getting ready to start game number 2. 0-0.
Nice serve by Lyons right off the back. Free ball for IPFW.
Gonna go backside.
And the back cross that time. We had a back one and a back slide, and the kill goes number 15, Kristen Gorsline, in the deep, deep corner for Northern Kentucky. Great shot that time by Kristen on a great set by number 11, Jill Lyons.
IPFW leads this game 1-0. I almost didn't know who was going to take that myself, watching 2 people drop back behind Jill. That's good. If they can shock me, they definitely got the floor wondering.
That time a kill for number 6, Peggy Ziegler from Northern Kentucky off the block of IPFW.
They go a lot frequently to number 6, Peggy Ziegler. And let's see, she is a sophomore from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Number 14, Ann Hicks back to serve for the Lady Norse.
The Norse trailing this game 0-1.
Once again, another corner shot for number 15, senior co-captain Kristen Gorsline, on a nice set for number 11, Jill Lyon. As a 31 that time, about 6 feet apart. Jill just shoots that ball in there, and Kristen with a nice corner shot.
Temple Swoverland serving for IPFW as they lead this game 1-0. This is game 2.
There's a roof straight down. It's not going to make it back over that time. Wendy Vanderwelt that time with the roof straight down.
2-0, IPFW.
You can see a big difference already. A lot of confidence in the eyes of Lady Dons.
A lot more confidence, a lot more enthusiasm. They're placing the ball well, and it's showing. There's a nice tip.
There's that middle attack I was talking about, Christy. They don't really go for a quick one. It's more of a high 3 ball in the middle. They run up underneath it, and a lot of times tipping it in the middle of the court, catching us off guard. So surprised we haven't adjusted that yet, but I'm sure we will before the game goes on.
They're going to have to. That is a frequent play for the Lady Norse, and we'll have to get used to it, or they're going to get us every time with it. Cross court number 6, and this time she lays it in on the far line. Peggy Ziegler.
It's again Ziegler cross court. I think our blocker should pick up on that pretty soon and block cross court, make Ziegler try to hit line so we can dig her.
Right, if we can catch on to that as though they did with us in Grand Valley last weekend, then they're going to have to go to something else, because that's all we did, and they stuck us with that, and we had no choice but to change.
There we have number 3, Denise Scheinman from Monroeville, Indiana. Heritage High School checking in for number 15, Kristen Gorsline.
And there's Coach Lisa Cheeks Sheehan, preferably Cheeks if she has it her way.
And she usually does.
There's a little bit of miscommunication. Free ball for IPFW.
Outside to Huber. Oh, nice cover that time by number 13, Jana Plummer.
And a free ball. Free ball for Kentucky. We'll see what they can do with it. Once again, in number 6, she gets it to topple over. IPFW has to send it back, and I tell you, if it wasn't for the miscommunication on their side, they really should have got back to that, but we'll take it.
Definitely not a pretty play, Christy, but that time number 3, the substitute who just came in, Denise Scheinman with the kill from the back row.
IPFW serving 3-1. Looks like we're getting a real good start out of this ball game, and that was inside. Once again, they're not talking. Number 4, Linda Schnetzer. Number 1, Michelle Klink stand and look at each other, and the ball falls right between them.
Raul Papaleo, line judge, calls it right on the line. Good.
Number 3, Denise Scheinman still serving. IPFW 4-1.
Another good serve by Scheinman.
Backside cross court.
Nice dig by Lyons. And the block by number 4, Wendy Vanderwelt. I think Wendy just kind of overtowered Linda Schnetzer that time. Wendy about 6 foot, and Linda only probably, I'd say, 5'9".
A little bit of a height advantage, but we'll take it. That's what they're up there for. And we have a nice height on our front line. Averaging around 6 foot.
Nice kill that time, number 4, Schnetzer coming back from the other play. Yeah, Christy, we have about 4 girls 6 foot or taller on our team. Definitely one of the bigger IPFW teams.
Number 16, Tamara Raymer, just came in for number 1, Michelle Klink, and the Norse are trailing by 4, 1-5. Julie Huber cross court once again puts it down for another kill for IPFW.
That's Julie Huber's favorite shot right there. Sometimes that set kind of dies inside. Julie likes to run in there and hit that, smash that ball more like it cross court. Good for another kill.
As you can tell, she stretches out those shoulders quite a bit. She crashed into, I believe it was Lions last week, and that shoulder was a little bit sore after that game, and keeps it warmed up. But I tell you right there.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it from that right there, showing a lot of aggressiveness right there. Even though it's a lot of pain when she hits, Julie really tough, having a good attitude this year, coming out and playing hard all the time.
IPFW with a tough break there. It hit the antenna, so a side out for the Lady Norse. Number 4, Linda Schnitzer serving. They're going to go backside. That was a slider. Number 13, Jana Plummer. No chance for
There's that backslide again, Christy, like you were saying. Working again, Jana Plummer hitting it line and getting a lift call from Northern Kentucky.
And we'll take it side out as we lead 5-1. This is a little bit better action than we've seen out of the girls last week. And once again, there's an ace service by Huber, and that
right
fell right inside that line.
Looks like we have a timeout, Christy, for the Lady Norse. Coach doesn't like what she's seeing. IPFW jumping out to a quick lead, 6-1 in game number 2.
Right. This is the way IPFW, I believe, played prior to last weekend's play, and we'll just see if they can keep playing.
The College Cable Access Program Guide provides information about our programming, including our monthly sports programming. To receive your free Channel 6 program guide, send your name, address, and zip code to College Cable Access Center at IPFW, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 48605-1499, or call us at 481-6582.
Hi, we just worked out on the mind and body workout. Join us next time. Be there.
And once again, welcome back to tonight's GLVC action between NKU, the Lady Norse from Northern Kentucky, and IPFW, and they are leading 6-1. And that was a nice serve by Huber. And
that time an attack here by number 4, Linda Schnitzer. I think right here we're seeing the inexperience of NKU coming through. Kind of getting frustrated that they're down so far in game number 2, 7-1, and kind of showing signs of, some unexperienced players.
Huber still serving. Number 16, Tamara Raymer, coming cross court and getting that one to fall. It will be side out for the Lady Norse, and we have a substitution. Number 17, Suzanne Williams, coming in for number 5, Becky Cox.
Number 10, Sean Casey back to serve, the setter, 5'10", and she has a service error that time.
Looks like we have a substitution coming in. Number 15, Kristen Gorsling, coming in for number 3, Denise Scheiman. And
a frequent substitution, as we well know, Kristen, usually a good one. Kristen, a very good blocker. Denise, a very good defensive player.
Jana Plummer serving 7-1. IPFW leads game 2, and that's a long hit.
Once again, the ball hit wide that time. Number 16, Tarama Raymer, kind of coming apart for Northern Kentucky right now.
And we don't mind this after last weekend's play, not at all. Plummer still serving for IPFW, 8-1. Oh, they're right into the net.
Another attack here that time by number 17, Susan Williams. And we're going to get another timeout from the coach from Northern Kentucky. Definitely not liking what she's seeing. Her girls just not concentrating, feeling that the game's out of reach in the game number 2, score being 9-1. Trying to calm her girls down and hopefully get them settled and maybe come back on IPFW. But IPFW playing really well right now, Christy.
And we'll be right back right after this.
For more than 50 years, people like you have collected federal duck stamps, and that's helped to protect more than 4 million acres of national wildlife refuge. To find out more, write Duck Stamp, Washington, D.C., 20240.
I tell you what, we could see the face there of the NKU's coach, and she was just shaking her head like, you're just standing there and watching the ball fall, and it's not going to work if we do that. We've got to play, and we've got to talk out there, and that was our problem last week, but not tonight, as IPFW leads game 2, 9-1, and Jana Plummer is still serving for the Lady Volleyball. And that was back set to number 16, Tamara Raymer, but it was hit wide, and IPFW takes another point, 10-1. Plummer still serving. Number 16, that's a side out for the Lady Norse. Tamara Raymer will be back to serve.
She let the ball drop that time, Christy. Automatic replay, and she gets to serve again. Nice serve by Tamara. Back row.
Backcourt.
Oh, and that time didn't work. First time it didn't work that time. Number 4, Wendy Vanderwilt. But 2 out of 3 is not bad. Hopefully they go back to that. Wendy playing very well. It's a good set by Jill, just didn't quite clear the net that time.
Right. Lady Norse 2-10. There's a nice serve again by him. Oh, number 6, Peggy Ziegler just couldn't get up. She had the idea, instead of playing the ball, putting it right back on our side, and it didn't work.
There we see the problems that Northern Kentucky's had, just not concentrating, making the easy plays they need to make, like the overpass kill.
Number 1, Michelle Klink, just was substituted in for Tamara Raymer. Then we're going to go with number 6 again, Peggy Ziegler. This time she knocks it straight down the line, and it falls in.
Good job that time with number 10, Sean Casey, the setter, going back to number 6, Peggy Ziegler. Here we see it again, going to Peggy Ziegler on the outside for the kill through the block, trying to get her confidence back up.
Number 14, Ann Hicks, still serving. And there's a nice kill.
That time kind of looked like a mixed up play, Christy. There was like 3 people behind Jill, no one in front of her. Jill kind of threw it up and said, here, somebody hit it, but it worked out for the best. Temple Swoverland coming through with the kill.
Temple Swoverland serving here. IPFW leads by 8. She serves wide. Side out, Lady Norse. Substitution number 5, Becky Cox, coming in for number 17, Suzanne Williams.
Definitely see, though, a comfortability on the face of IPFW, feeling comfortable with the way they're playing, even though that service error and a couple mental mistakes, but playing really well right now.
Talking out on the court, a lot of communication, and that one was just a little long. It didn't fall in. They have been hitting really hard at that back line tonight, and most of the time going in. That time it was just a little long.
Number 5, Becky Cox, still serving for Lady Norse.
The Norse trailing by 7.
Ball going way outside. Julie Huber, nice shot that time by Julie.
Nice.
She was dug by number 5, Becky Cox, on the line, but no one could pick it up after Becky had dug it.
And here's our favorite substitution, number 3, Denise Scheinman, coming in for number 15, Kristen Gorsline. Denise will be back to serve for IPFW. IPFW leading game 2, 10-3. And there's that nice kill by number 6, Peggy Ziegler, and they go outside to her quite a bit. She is an outside hitter
Ziegler
for the Lady Norse.
Very well right now. Christy, she's coming through for them in a big way. Right now they're trying to get something constant, something that'll stay in tune for the whole game, and right now Ziegler's it.
We've got to be up and be able to block her so that throws them off once again. We'll see what our blockers are going to do. And Jana Plummer, that was a little bit of a low set by Jill, and she couldn't quite get it over.
Well, the pass was a little tight that time, but by Denise. Jill, not being super tall, couldn't quite get there, and they're forcing a bad set to Jana Plummer. And that was kind of an awkward play. Number 6, Ziegler threw it up and stepped underneath it. I really don't know what that was all about, but now she goes back to serve.
Lady Norse only trailing by 6 now, 4-10. Julie Huber, cross court.
Once again, Julie's favorite shot, hard cross court. And NKU not being able to pick that up yet.
There's a little bit of confidence on her face. You can see right there, they got a nice tight shot. She's saying, and that's the way it's to be done.
Julie
Let's
with
go.
a great attitude this year.
Vanderwilt back to serve for IPFW, and Julie takes it all on her own, finds a open court, and puts it down.
Right there's a play of a veteran hitting that ball. Instead of hitting it straight down and trying to tool off the block of number 10, Sean Casey, a bigger player, just hits it where they're not.
IPFW serving 11-4.
There's the roll shot. We're there this time. Should be a point.
Over to Huber. She comes cross court, but it was a nice dig by Ziegler. And they go cross court with number 16, Tamara Raymer.
Nice shot that time by Tamara through the seam of the block. Block was kind of late forming. Tamara seeing the hole and hitting it there off the hands, good for a kill.
And it's side out. Number 4, Schnetzer serving for the Lady Norse. And Jill going on her own once again. Thought she could tip that one over, but ran into a definite wall with number 16, Tamara Raymer, and that ball was going nowhere. But
once too many times, Christy. Number 16, Tamara picked it up that time. Outside to Huber. Good dig that time. Tip doesn't go. They go back row, but set goes awry.
Vanderbilt, free ball to the Lady Norse.
Nice dig by number 4, Wendy. Ball's knocked over. Oh, it could have been a lift call that time.
Could have been a lift. Plummer put it right into her. They didn't call it, though, so the ball's still in play. Huber cross
Good rally
court.
going here. And an over called that time. Julie frustrated with herself. The ball had not yet crossed the plane. She said, I'm going to end this rally. She went and tipped it straight down. Here we see on the replay.
She was just a little bit anxious.
Back set, and the ball had not yet crossed before she hit it.
Right.
And a block that time. Number 11.
By shortstop.
Jill. short but good.
Right.
Nice block by Jill.
Shortest one on our line. That gives a side out to IPFW as they lead this 11-6. Huber back to serve.
Nice short serve that time by Huber. Free ball opportunity. They go back to Wendy in the back row. Good block. Here come the Lady Norse.
Going to number 16, and this time she hits it long. Tamara Raymer usually goes cross court with that one, and this time she went straight back, and it went long. IPFW gets another point.
The Lady Norse playing much better here, Christy, getting a little momentum, kind of slowing IPFW's surge to 15 down a little bit.
But we're still adding up the points, and there was a nice dig by Vanderwilt, and over to Swoverland. This time she hits it a little long, and it'll be side out.
She had the right idea that time, Temple. The line, deep line was open. She tried to put it back there in the corner, but just hit it a little long.
IPFW is doing a very good job tonight of spotting those open spots on the floor, and it's paying off. We're leading the second game 12-6 after winning the first one 15-10.
Sean Casey serving for NKU.
It's going to be a free ball. We're just going to have to get that one back over, and we do.
Oh, nice play that time by number 4, Linda Schnetzer. Free ball, here it comes. The
Down
one
the
ball.
middle.
Right on the line once again. Finding that corner is number 13, senior co-captain Jana Plummer, with the one ball set from number 11, her cousin in crime, Jill Lyon.
And Raul Papaleo had to take a little bit of a jump there as that went right for his feet. He's our line judge tonight. Plummer.
And then Quentin Spiegel, the other one. Might as well give them both in there since we named one.
Sure. Plummer back to serve. IPFW is leading this one. This time they get the tip. Kristen Gore's line. Should be a point here for IPFW, except for there was a little bit of miscommunication, but Temple Swoverland puts it through the block.
Nice tool shot that time. Temple definitely one of the better tool shot hitters on our team. Seeing she has 2 good blockers up, hits the ball hard off the hands and goes out of bounds for a kill.
13-6, IPFW leads this ball game.
The tip goes that time. I tell you what, Northern Kentucky, they must practice tipping a lot in practice because they sure do it a lot here in the game.
An awful lot of tips.
IPFW done pretty well picking them up finally, but every once in a while they're going to have a little miscommunication and one's going to go down.
Number 16, Tamara Raymer. The girls are pretty comfortable, though. There was a lot of smiles after that missed tip, and they're like, well, we'll get it this time. They lead by 7.
Ooh, and that time a kill by Peggy Ziegler. Jana had the dig that time, wasn't quite ready. Jana will make that play next time.
No problem. They do put another point on the board, 13-7. Their sidelines trying to get them going here because they are coming back, but IPFW is only 2 points away, but there's...
And that'll definitely help right there, an ace by number 16, Tamara Raymer. Lady North showing a little bit of excitement on their side, trying to get something sparked up here in game number 2. They're down by 5, 8-13. IPFW playing well. I think we'll see a pass inside out right here.
IPFW just needs to talk out there, and we'll get this ball right back.
We're going to see a back row attack by Wendy, and once again, cross court kill. Nice play by Jill Lyon, not trying to force the long set outside, throwing it straight up. Lane number 4, Vanderwilt, put it down.
And she's put a couple of those down tonight. We're going to see this once again.
There we see the cross court kill right inside the line by number 4, Wendy Vanderwilt.
IPFW leading game 2, 13-8. Lions back to serve, and she serves long. I don't think we're ready to wrap this game up yet. We've been stuck on 13. We need to get out of this little rut, so we need a side out right here. But right now, serving for the Lady Norse is number 14, Ann Hicks.
Nice set by Jill. And a kill. Straight down smash by Wendy Vanderwilt. Wendy playing very well this game. Kind of disappointed with her play, she said last weekend. So she said from now on she's going to try even harder and give 100% and see what happens. And obviously it's paying off.
Yeah, I think we've seen that definitely tonight compared to last weekend. Temple Swoverland back to serve for IPFW. And they're going to hit wide. Number 4, Linda Schnetzer. The Lady Norse, IPFW can see the light of game 2 as they serve for game 2, 14-8. Nice serve.
Temple with a nice serve.
They go
nice
for the
play
tip,
by
but
Jill
we're on
Lyons.
it.
Wendy turns and hits a nice dig that time by number 14, Ann Hicks. Nice dig by Temple. Jill gets there, pushes it outside to Huber.
And Kristen says, I'm going to take it, but it was hit wide. She had the open court, had a chance to put the game away.
Had the overpass. She was out of position, wasn't quite ready for it. The ball came over pretty quick, but Kristen just couldn't quite get it in, just outside the line.
Substitution for the Lady Norse, number 5, Becky Cox coming in to serve. They trail 8-14. Going to go outside to, I was going to say going outside to Huber, and she goes for a tip. And it just doesn't make it. Another point, 9-14.
I think Julie kind of lost sight where the net was that time.
They don't need to let the Lady Norse get back into this, and there's a lift call on IPFW.
Well, the passing kind of broke down here. Should get a side out here. If not, I wouldn't be surprised if Cheeks calls a timeout, trying to settle the girls down. Only need 1 point. Good pass, side out right here. There we see a middle attack right there in the corner of number 15, Kristen Gordesline.
There's a real nice shot by Kristen. And here comes our substitution, number 3, Denise Scheinman, coming in to finish out this game for number 15, senior co-captain Kristen Gordesline.
Kristen improved her game 100% from last year, hitting those corners, making great shots, great blocks in net. Kristen definitely a big asset here to Lady Dons.
Scheinman serving for game number 2.
The roll shot doesn't go. Vanderwilt outside to Huber. Off the block and down for game number 2. Julie Huber with the kill off the block.
IPFW once again 15-10. I don't know if that's a magic number for them or not, but once again we win game 2 same time. Same score, 15-10, 15-10.
Tune in to Channel 6 every Sunday at 8 p.m. to catch tape replays of IPFW sports. This Sunday, the replay from Friday, September 13th with Grand Valley State against the Lady Volleyball will be shown in its entirety. And we're going to take a brief message and be right back with some GLVC volleyball.
Hello, I'm Jerry Hausman of the Political Science Department. The Departments of History and Political Science, the International Studies Certificate Program, the International Affairs Office, and Peace Studies want to invite you to attend an important campus event. We're going to have Michael Foot as a guest speaker. Michael Foot is the former Deputy Prime Minister of Britain. He also was the leader of Her Majesty's opposition in the early 1980s, meaning that he would have been the Prime Minister of Britain had the elections gone against Mrs. Thatcher and in his favor. Mr. Foot is also a well-known author, journalist, newspaper editor, speaker, and member of Parliament. I think his appearance will make for an interesting evening, and the appearance will be at 8 p.m. Tuesday, September 24th, in room 159 of the Classroom Medical Building.
And welcome back to more GLVC action between the Northern Kentucky and IPFW Volleyball. I tell you what, we just found out for Channel 6, we'd like to congratulate them. They received 4 Philo Awards and 2 Philo Awards for their live sports action last year.
Definitely a big asset to IPFW. I think here we're going to see a replay of the last point for game in game number 2. Here we go, set outside by the Kentucky North. Nice dig by Jill Lyons outside to Huber for the kill off the block, and good. Score game number 2, 15-10. Game number 1 was also 15-10. Best 3 out of 5, so Lady Dons definitely in control here. One more game to take the match.
IPFW, a totally different team from last weekend, and I think this is the team that they were talking about that had played those the first invitational in the first game out at Hillsdale. They were on top of things, and they came back last weekend. It was their first home match, and it was in a big tournament, unfortunately, and we didn't play as well as we probably should have, but tonight we are back and we are playing well, and the crowd's getting a good chance to see what IPFW looks like this year.
There's a long season ahead. I definitely think it'll take a couple matches, home and away, to get the Lady Dons into a groove, and once we do get in a groove, I think we're going to be a very tough team to beat when tournament time comes around, and that's what matters. You know, these games right now are practice for the tournament. Yeah, you like to win your conference, go undefeated, but it all comes down to tournament time, and I think that's what Lisa Sheehan's really preparing for.
Well, they're definitely shooting for tournament this year. Last year they were 15-0 in their conference. They hadn't lost a game. This year they've added some tougher teams to their schedule in hopes that the NCAA will look at them and say, hey, wait a minute, yeah, that team's there, and they won their conference this year, and they should be invited back. So we'll see how our wins and losses go this year.
And then Michelle Klink, #1 server for Northern Kentucky. Northern Kentucky gets a free ball, first play.
They're going to go outside to number 6, Peggy Ziegler, but this time she hits it long, and she's been a great player, outside hitter for them. And this time she hit it wide, and it goes to our advantage. Side out, Temple Swoverland back to serve, 0-0. This is game 3. We're glad you can join us for IPFW volleyball.
And that time miscommunication, free ball pass, bump over by Michelle Klink, and right in the middle of the court, IPFW thought everyone else was going to get it, and ended up no one got it.
I tell you what, I think we had miscommunication on Northern Kentucky's side also on that one, because she didn't think she had a chance, and when it fell over, no one even played the ball. It was a definite surprise for them as well.
And Hicks with the serve. And a throw at that time called number 15, Kristen Gorsline. Kristen trying to throw it down to the corner. And usually the officials let that go, but I guess they're going to call a little closer here in game number 3, and she calls for a lift.
Number 14, Ann Hicks serving, 1-0. IPFW trails game 3, but cross court was back to Julie Huber, and she puts it on the back line.
Well, I think in between games that Coach Bierman for Northern Kentucky told her girls to block angle on Julie, and that time Julie, being a good hitter, hit it line.
Back to serve for IPFW is Jana Plummer. No, I'm sorry about that. Number 3, Denise Scheinman. I wasn't paying much attention.
There's a block that time by number 13, Jana Plummer with the assist. Number 4, Wendy Vanderwelt. Once again showing our blocking power when it's on.
When it's on. On and off today, but we'll take it. It was on there. Let's see if we can keep it on for the rest of this game and wrap this one up pretty quick. Scheinman still serving for IPFW. They're tied up 1-1. Game number 3.
Once again, blocked the net. And the tip goes that time. I tell you what, Christy, I saw that coming. Inexperienced hitter. Once she gets blocked, she's going to come back with a tip. Surprised Lady Dons weren't there to pick that one up.
Yeah, I think she got lucky, though. She got a little bit of a roll, and I'm not sure if IPFW thought that one would go over, but they need to be aggressive and expect that it will, and then they would have been there to get that one.
Number 5, Becky Cox, back to serve for Lady Norse.
We're all tied up here, 1-1.
Outside of Huber, cross court. That one she hit inside the 10-foot line, showing what kind of cross-court shot that Julie does have. One of the best in the league, definitely.
Once again, as you were saying just a minute ago, their blockers were there, but I don't think she took much notice to them that time.
Wendy Vanderwelt, 6-foot senior, back to serve. Free ball, should be another point. Going back row to Wendy. Kill down the line that time. Wendy hitting 4 cross-court D shots, this time going line, and no one home for Northern Kentucky. Wendy playing really, really well tonight.
Very well. Nice game by Wendy so far, and IPFW is leading this one 2-1. Another good serve by Wendy. This time they're going to go the inside with another tip, and we are there, but we can't get it back over.
I'll tell you what, Christy, I'm surprised we're not actually standing there waiting for it. Northern Kentucky not, being deceptive at all with their tips, and we're there sometimes we're not. I think every time we should be there, not being that tricky of a tip.
Right, we've seen very few smashes by them, and they're doing a lot of tipping and a lot of rolls, and we should be ready to take those. They're nothing surprising and nothing that we have to move very quickly to get to, but it seems like we have had to do that so far this evening, and this is game 3, and they've played that way in the first 2. We'll see what we can do here.
There's 5'8" junior Julie Huber back to serve for Lady Dons.
And
the transition and middle attack, number 13, Jana Plummer. At the end of this match, Christy and I will be picking a Dandy Don player of the match, and we'll let you know who that is after the match. Dandy Don, who we think is the best player, who played the best tonight for IPFW.
Nah, we just missed that one. Number 3, Jana Plummer. Number 3, who am I talking about? I tell you, poor Jana and Denise Scheinman, I hope they don't pay attention to this afterwards, because I've definitely got them crossed tonight. And there's a service error by number 4, Linda Schnetzer. Now Jana's back to serve. We're going to get it right this time. IPFW with a side out.
Denise checks out, and Kristen Gorsline comes back in.
They lead this one 3-1.
Nice serve that time. Northern Kentucky thought it was out, but dropped right at the last second, right on that line. They tried to play it, but it was a service ace for Jana Plummer.
Plummer still serving 4-1 IPFW. And once again, we're starting on a roll, and we'll see if we can keep it going. There's another nice serve. They're going to go outside, number 16, Tamara Raymer, and she got it.
That time Tamara hits it through the seam of the block. Jill Lyons not quite closing that hole in the middle of the two blockers, so definitely Jill needs to drop her left hand in here and she'll block that ball. Number 10's back to serve, Sean Casey for Northern Kentucky. Nice serve by Casey. Looks like a free ball coming over.
Going to be a free ball for the North.
But Temple turns and hits it cross court. Caught NKU off balance that time. They thought it was going to be a free ball like we did, Chrissy. Temple turns and smashes it cross court. Here we see it again. Jill throwing it up. Temple jumping, hitting it cross court. NKU not ready.
IPFW all warmed up, leading 4-1. There's that block by number 4, Vanderwilt, number 15, Gorsline. And they can get that going tonight. I don't think the Lady Norse have much hope.
That time, number 10, Sean Casey, the setter for NKU, setting the ball tight. With our big blocker, that's going to be a stuff every time.
Jill
Not what you want to see after a big block like that. We want to keep the ball in play, give our blockers a chance.
Right into the net, service error. We've had a few of those tonight. Number 16, Tamara Raymer. And nice an ace service.
Dropped right in front of Julie Huber. The ball just dropped in front of her. Julie was there, but nice serve that time by Tamara.
The Lady Norse trailing by 3 as they serve this 2-5.
And another ace by Tamara Raymer off number 12, Temple Swoverland. But there you see a big difference, Chrissy. The girls kind of upset but smiling, not getting upset at each other, knowing, hey, a bad pass, side out will come right back. Big confidence difference.
Plus 2 games already under their belt. I think that helps a little bit.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Number 16, Raymer still serving. This time they're going to go back to Swoverland from the back line.
Tool shot again by Swoverland. Off the block, out of bounds, and Temple goes back to serve for the Lady Dons.
We have a substitution here. Number 1, Michelle Klink coming in for number 16, Tamara Raymer for the Lady Norse. Going to try a little bit of a change up, but we're ready for that as we serve 5-3. And there's a block by Vanderwilt.
Once again, number 10, Sean Casey, setting the ball too tight for NKU. Wendy Vanderwilt, being 6 foot, smashes it down with the block.
Not much of an option there on which side you'd rather go. You got 6 foot in Kristen, you got 6 foot in Wendy, and I believe that Hubert's 5'8", so you don't have much of a choice there which way you want to go.
And that time the tip goes for number 6, Peggy Ziegler. Kristen just mistimed it, couldn't quite get her hands over the net in time, so it falls on our side.
IPFW talking it out, saying watch out this time. We don't need any more aces. Ann Hicks serving.
And won't get one that way, Ann. Service error in the net. Substitution once again. We're going to have a double sub. Denise Scheinman in for Kristen Gorsline. And for the first time, number 14, Bonnie Cannell, coming in for number 13, Jana Plummer.
We haven't seen Bonnie tonight. She played well in the last tournament. We'll see what she can do this evening late in the 3rd game.
Be interesting if she can get warmed up.
Right. Like we said, it's very chilly in here tonight. Last weekend you couldn't cool off. And there's off the block by number 10 for the Lady Norse, Sean Casey. We have a substitution. Number 5, Peggy Cox coming in to serve, taking out number 17, Suzanne Williams. And they serve 3-6.
Outside to Huber, no one there. Nice dig that time, number 14, Ann Hicks.
They go to inside tip, and once again, we don't get to it. Almost a collision by the non-communication on the court. And we got to talk about those.
I'm really surprised we haven't picked those yet. Cheeks right now on the floor trying to tell the girls, hey, she's going to tip that ball. She can't hit around us. Be ready for that.
Number 5, Cox still serving. 6-4, IPFW leads game 3. Outside of Huber, Huber puts it down the line. Number 5, Becky Cox, without a chance at all.
Right there showing her versatility. Usually hitting deep cross court very hard. Turns that line, and Cox not ready for the dig.
Vanderwilt serving for IPFW.
Score 6-4 here in the third. IPFW winning the first 2 games, 10-15 both. Right there, a very smart play by Wendy Vanderwilt. Second ball up high enough where she can swing at it. Seeing no one in the deep corner, puts it right there for the kill and the point.
And IPFW moving on up here, 7-4.
We see the replay. Nice cover by Jill. Wendy puts it in the corner for the kill.
Vanderwilt serving once again for IPFW.
Ball hit wide that time by Linda Schnetzer. IPFW taking a big lead, 8-4 here in game number 3. And Coach Bierman from Lady Norse wants a timeout.
I think they need to call a timeout here. They've got to stop this. They are behind 8-4, and they need to get going in this game.
Tune in to Channel 6 on Sunday, October 20th at 8 p.m. to catch the tape replay of tonight's match. College Cable Access Channel 6 brings you tape relays of IPFW sports every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. And we'll catch you in a few. We're going to take a quick message break, and we'll be back with live action here at GLVC Volleyball.
His lifelong contributions to Indiana athletics are incomparable. Now you're invited to toast Hoosier sports legend Hilliard Gates Wednesday, September 25th at the Coliseum. Special banquet guests include ABC's Chris Schenkel, Purdue's Gene Cady, Notre Dame's Dick Rosenthal, and a special video tribute from IU coach Bob Knight. For reservations, call the IPFW Development Office at 481-6162. Proceeds benefit the IPFW Athletic Scholarship Campaign. If Hilliard has touched your life, let him know it. September 25th at the Coliseum.
Vanderwilt serving for IPFW as they lead game 3, 8-4.
Free ball opportunity for Lady Dons. They go in the middle to Bonnie, and she tools off the block. That time, number 6, Peggy Ziegler couldn't quite get her hands on the ball. Nice shot by Bonnie.
All right, Bonnie coming in right away, being an effective player on the court, and IPFW with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of confidence in their faces. Serving here, 9-4, hoping to win game 3, and we'll see. Oh, number 4, Wendy Vanderwilt couldn't quite get to that.
Once again, seeing the tips of NKU. IPFW still having some problems with that. We have a substitution for NKU, number 16. Tamara Raymer comes back in for number 1, Michelle Klink.
Number 6, Peggy Ziegler back to serve as they trail 9-4 in this game. IPFW leads by 5, going to the middle. Bonnie Cannell. They're going to call a lift there, I believe, on Jill.
Ball came kind of quick to Jill that time. Didn't know quite what to do. Tried to set it, but it was a mishandled ball. Therefore, a lift called by official Keith Niergardner.
Ziegler still serving.
There again, she walks underneath that ball.
I'm not sure I understand that. I guess she's not ready, but to walk underneath it, it's...
Usually let the ball drop in front of you. Well, it worked that time. Ziegler comes up with an ace. Like I was saying, usually the ball let the ball drop in front of you, but she throws up and walks underneath it. The ball does hit her, it counts, and it's a side out to IPFW, so she better be careful.
I don't know, trying to throw us off. It happened to work that time. We'll see if she serves the first time this time. Ziegler for the Norse. They trail 3 points, 9-6. Huber with the tip of her own, but it doesn't clear the net.
Once again, Julie doing a nice job hitting the ball tonight. Her 2 tips haven't quite cleared the net. I don't know why she's trying it. She's been really effective at the swing, so won't be surprised if we don't see Julie tip too much the rest of the evening.
That's okay. She can go cross court and
ace that time by number 6, Ziegler. And KU making a little surge. Only 1 point down, 8-9 here in game number 3.
IPFW needs to get going. They're giving NKU a little bit of confidence, and if they get that rolling, they have a good chance of catching up in this game. We're not going to say that, though.
There we see the ace again on the replay. Outside to Huber. Nice handle that time by...
went
awry that time. She pushes outside to Huber, trickles over. Nice dig that time by number 5, Cox. Free ball, IPFW.
Julie Huber takes it deep in the backcourt, knocks that down for side out. Once again, like I said, we didn't want to let him catch up anyway.
Another kill for Huber. She goes back to serve for Lady Dons. We're leading 9-8 in the third game. There we see Julie, a 5'8" junior.
Nice
short serve. Causes problems. They're going to free ball.
Free ball for IPFW. We'll see if we can score a point off of this. And Bonnie Cannell goes for a little bit of a roll shot herself, and they don't get it back over.
Bonnie was going for a back one, and Jill saw she was running a little late, so she kind of set it, tried to think where Bonnie might be coming, and just kind of a guess play, and Bonnie puts it down for a kill, though.
Huber still serving for IPFW. They lead 10-8 in game 3. There's a block by Temple, but it goes outside.
Temple was there in position, just didn't quite get her hands turned into the court, and the ball goes off out of bounds. But IPFW takes a 2-point lead now, 10-8, game number 3.
Side out, NKU, number 4, Linda Schnetzer serving. And there's that nice little play that Jill does on her own every once in a while when she tries to catch him off guard.
Once again, big block, that time by number 11, Jill Lyons, number 14, Bonnie Cannell. The tallest and the shortest players for IPFW falling for the roof.
Here goes our double substitution. Number 15, Kristen Gorsline coming in for number 3, Denise Scheiman. And number 13, Jana Plummer coming in for number 14, Bonnie Cannell. And we'll see what we've got here. Jana Plummer is going to be back to serve for IPFW as they lead game 3, 10-8. Nice serve. They go outside to number 16, Tamara Raymer.
Nice dig by Huber outside to Swoverlin. And the block is just inside the line. That time by number 10, Sean Casey, and number 14, Ann Hicks.
Substitution, number 17, Suzanne Williams coming in for number 5, Becky Cox. Lady Norse are hanging on here to game 3. This is their last chance, and they've got to hang on for all they're worth. And as they serve a nice serve there, they trail by 2.
Backslide, that time by Kristen. And the dig, that time, number 4, Linda Schnetzer, but no one there to cover her.
And IPFW Volleyball hope to win this match as they are leading 10-8. And there's Temple with her hands up over the net.
Free ball opportunity. Nice dig that time by Casey. Here come the Lady Dons outside of Swoverlin. Nice dig
Swoverlin
again.
backcourt. This time they're going to go once more to Temple, and this time she puts it down.
She crashed it across court. That time Lisa Sheehan, coach of Lady Dons, up yelling at the official. Won a back row attack on the setter from Northern Kentucky, but it didn't matter. Temple puts it down for the point, and 11-8 to score in game number 3. IPFW is winning. Southmore setter Jill Lyon back to serve.
Free ball for IPFW. We should get another point right here. This time she goes over to Wendy. Wendy couldn't put it down. There was a nice dig.
And the block. The ball was out, but number 16, Tamara Raymer, was there, so she had to play it. Here comes free ball.
Over to Temple Swoverlin.
One-on-one, and she puts it down. Number 17, Suzanne Williams, tried to block it, but didn't get her hands over the net. The ball falls on NKU's side.
12-8. We've got a timeout here because the Lady Volleyball are looking like they could win game 3, 12-8. And Lady Norse are trying to slow us down right now with the timeout.
Lady Volleyball won the first and second game by the scores of 15-10 and 15-10. Right now, Coach Sheehan, I'm sure, just giving even more confidence to Lady Dons, telling them you're playing fine, doing everything well. The passing is going well. You're serving aggressive. The service errors have cut down. And I'm sure she's telling them she's really proud of them. They're playing very well right now. On the other side, Lady Norse coach trying to get them fired up.
We'd like you to tune in to Channel 6 tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. to watch the Lady Greyhounds from the University of Indianapolis take on the IPFW Lady Volleyball. That's right here on Channel 6. And we'll be right back with more GLVC action right after this.
I'm Ira Epstein, your host of Stocks, Options, and Futures, inviting you to join me each week with a whole new format. Now, you've been watching us for years here on this station, and what have you seen? You've seen our type of shows, but we've not had the ability of using computer graphics the way we do now. We can bring up charts instantly. We've got trend lines on them. We'll be talking about moving averages.
And welcome back. We just got a point there, and IPFW is leading this game 13-8.
A great dig by Jill Lyons that time. Christy unable to catch it. We weren't on that time, but Jill playing great defense. She's still serving for the Lady Dons. Here comes another free ball.
A little bit of miscommunication on the Lady North side, and that's all right for us as we come over to Temple Swoverlin, and she puts it down the line.
And it goes down.
A kill for Temple, and they couldn't do anything with that. 14-8.
Number 11, Jill Lyons, still serving. Game point, 14-8. This is for the match. Match point, Jill Lyons serving. Here comes NKU.
We're going to go inside with that tip. This time we're on it with Kristen Gorsline.
Ball's going to go outside. Roll shot, Jana Plummer there. Wendy Vanderwilt. Doug. And it doesn't go over. 4 hits called, and that's game for Lady Dons.
IPFW wins game 3 and the match. They win game 1, 15-10, 2, 15-10, and game 3, 15-8. IPFW looking good this evening and taking it home.
There we see both teams shaking hands. And IPFW just a different team tonight. They played really, really well. Coach Sheehan has to be really impressed. NKU, Northern Kentucky, an inexperienced team coming in here with just a lot of young players. A good setter, a good bunch of girls, definitely going to get better, but just showing inexperience by tipping the ball. IPFW catching on, playing good defense, good transition volleyball. There we go, look at Lisa Sheehan yelling through the net. Definitely happy with the way her girls performed tonight. Definitely cold in here. IPFW, though, was hot, and that's all that mattered. They win in 3 games, 15-10, 15-10, and 15-8. We're going to take a brief message, and we'll be back. Christy's going to interview our Dandy Don player of the game, and we'll be back after this brief message.
All in favor of wearing safety belts, raise your hand.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Hi. I'm here to talk to you about why you shouldn't smoke. The first and most important reason is that we have proof that it can kill you, and I want you to live a long time. Secondly, I want you to be popular. If you smoke, not only do you smell bad, but your smoking will bother other people, say at parties or in the halls at school. So if you don't smoke now, don't start. And if you do, try quitting. You'll live longer. Thanks.
We're fighting for your life.
Hi, we just worked out on the mind and body workout. Join us next time. Be there.
Gone are the days of one-night stands.
For more than 50 years, people like you have collected federal duck stamps, and that's helped to protect more than 4 million acres of national wildlife refuge. To find out more, write Duck Stamp, Washington, D.C., 20240.
I'm Ira Epstein, your host of Stocks, Options, and Futures, inviting you to join me each week with a whole new format. Now, you've been watching us for years here on this station, and what have you seen? You've seen our type of shows, but we've not had the ability of using computer graphics the way we do now. We can bring up charts instantly. We've got trend lines on them. We'll be talking about moving averages, different concepts, and trying to teach much more than we've done in the past. So stay tuned here for Stocks, Options, and Futures. We'll be looking for you.
Welcome back, and IPFW Lady Dons just defeated Northern Kentucky University Lady Norse, and right now Chrissy's down the court with our Dandy Don player of the game.
Hi, I'm Christy Walker, and we got a post-game interview here with Wendy Vanderwilt. Wendy, you played a very good game this evening.
Thanks.
What were you working on as being different from last week? I mean, you had a lot of backcourt kills this week, or in this game, and you were playing very effectively.
Thanks. It wasn't so much me, it was a team effort. We've been working on it all week to communicate really well, and it showed tonight. We've definitely gotten improved over last weekend, so it was a really team effort.
I would say there was a lot more communication on the court than there was last week. Also, this is really bad. I just caught it, drew a blank, and I have never done that before, and I didn't know what to do. I was just going to say, you all have played effectively. I know you've had a week off. What is it going to take now to keep this type of play going?
Just a lot of hard work, basically. I mean, in practice, we're all really there physically. We just need to work on the mental aspects of the game and play together as a team. That's what we need to do.
What did you do mentally to change from last week's play? You came off of a tournament with a few losses, and what does, and you turn around and you win this game, and what's it going to look like here in the coming up?
Well, but again, it's just the communication. We need to really work on that. And I mean, tonight it really showed. We just, really played well as a team. Even the people on the bench, you can hear them talking all the time, and it just helps. It really helps the team. So we're going to probably do that this week, or this whole week in practice, geared towards that. So.
Okay, thanks for joining us. This is Wendy Vanderwilt, and we're going to throw it back up to Loy Ball.
Okay, we're going to show you the scores of the night's match. Best 3 out of 5, IPFW wins in 3. There you see the scores 15-10, 15-10, 15-8. A whole different Volleyball team this weekend from last weekend, playing really well, playing together. And our Dandy Don player of the game was Wendy Vanderwilt, number 4. I'd like to thank you for joining us this evening. Catch us again tomorrow afternoon at 3 with another GLVC volleyball match. I'm Loy Ball, and for Christy Walker, we'll see you tomorrow.